Assalamu alaikum. That was a great video, mashallah. Congratulations to all of our graduates. And something that I want to let you know that if you're following our live feeds on Facebook and on YouTube, if you do want me to give a special shout out to someone who is graduating but didn't have a ceremony this year, please send them out and I'll definitely give them a shout out. I know my sister was supposed to have her graduation, so I'm giving a shout out to Maryam, my sister. She's graduating from university. So next up, we have another amazing author with us. You may have heard of her. I'm sure you have, actually. Her name is S.K. Ali, or Sajida Kari. Cool initials, kind of like J.K. Rowling, mashallah. Inshallah, she will be doing a reading from her newest anthology called Once Upon an Eid. And I'm very excited to have a little chat with her. Of course, Assalamu alaikum. Sajida, how are you doing? Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, great to have you on board. Thank you for being here. How's your Eid so far? Sorry, 1 second. The sound isn't just, we're trying to, no, your sound is fine. We're just working it out from here so we can hear you, inshallah. I'm not too good at lip reading. Alhamdulillah. But mashallah, I see all the books in the background. Looks amazing. I don't know which book. Did you read them all? Yeah. Now I wish I really knew ASL so we could communicate without the sound. So they're just working on that, inshallah, so we could hear you. And we'll be good, inshallah. But meanwhile, I'm honestly very excited because I think, and we can talk a little bit about this later as well, but the importance of having books in the mainstream that represent Islam and Muslims and all of that good stuff. I myself, have, alhamdulillah, I have a 4-year-old now. And a 1.5-year-old, and it's really nice to be able to read to them books where I can say, you know what, this, she's wearing hijab like me. His name is Hassan. His name is Muhammad. Names that and this. So alhamdulillah, that definitely fosters a strong identity within our youth and our children, and there's nothing more important than that. I remember growing up, I'd be like, wait, how come I don't see anything like me, right? Even though it's not that I'm weird or, so different, but, unfortunately, we see how, the mainstream literature is like, and I think it's very important. And so, jazakallah khair for the work that you do. Now, so how's your Eid been? So,
alhamdulillah, it's been
perfect.
really good.
I hear you now.
You hear me? Okay, great.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone again? Okay, keep talking.
Alhamdulillah, it's been interesting being socially distant, obviously from friends and family, but it actually made us put more effort into things that we can do to connect. So it was special in its way, and I love the whole MAC theme of a need to remember, because it is becoming, alhamdulillah, a need to remember.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So why don't we start, why don't you go ahead, tell us a little bit about your book, and give us a good reading from it, inshallah. We're very excited to hear it.
Yeah, so Once Upon an Eid is a collection of stories by 15 Muslim creatives from diverse backgrounds, presenting diverse stories of joy and fun and food and just everything like we missed seeing ourselves growing up in stories. Because growing up, I remember reading a lot of interesting, fun, warm, cozy stories, but never really featuring characters like you said, like us. You didn't get to see the kind of experiences that we had. So this was a project idea that all 15 authors were so enthusiastic about, that when Aisha and I, my co-editor Aisha Saeed, and I reached out to authors to take part, everyone was really enthusiastic. And this book is a real game changer because, unfortunately, though representation of Muslims has started to grow in the publishing industry, a lot of it still focuses on pain and trauma and, issues around the Muslim identity. So these stories are a little bit different. Actually, they're a lot different in terms of just the ease in which the characters wear their Muslim identity. It's just part of their lives, and there's other things going on. So yeah, so I'm gonna share a story. Before I share it, I just want to highlight the fact that besides stories, we had Sarah Alfaji, who's an amazing illustrator. She did the cover, and she did book um, like story illustrations for each of the stories. So that's Asma Hussein's story right here. I know you had her on the show earlier. Yeah, I love her story. And there's diversity of cultures and diversity of economic situations. There's the convert family. Yeah, there's a lot of there's just a lot of different kinds of diversity and accessibilities for different readers. I'm going to also point out before I read, I'm also going to point out that there is a comic right in the middle.
Wow.
There's a whole comic written by G. Willow Wilson, who is the creator of Miss Marvel, and so that's really fun. So the story excerpt, I don't know if I'm going to have time to read the whole story, but the one I wanted to read from is the one by Randa Abdul Fattah, and it's called Eid and Pink Bubblegum, Insha'Allah, by Randa Abdul Fattah, who is an Australian author who was actually the first one who wrote, that I saw who wrote a teen Muslim identity in the Western world. That I saw and read. And so I was so honored that she agreed to give one of her stories into our anthology. So I'm going to start reading Eid and Pink Bubblegum, Insha'Allah. If you touch your tongue while yawning, it can stop the yawn. It's a scientific fact. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, trying to distract my mind as my brother's Noor's voice droned on. Do you know that anditophobia is the fear that somewhere in the world there's a duck watching you? I mean, how wild would it be to have that phobia? I snapped. You know what's wild? Having to listen to you recite dumb trivia on an entire 8-hour road trip. Quit it. Kids, stop fighting, Mom called out in a bored tone. Noor was unperturbed. It's not a dumb fact. Somewhere out there in the galaxy, there are probably aliens sharing random dumb facts about us human beings. Jeez. I stared at him open-mouthed. He stared back at me and flashed a cheesy smile. What? He asked innocently. I didn't have a chance to respond because Adam, 4 years old going on 3, and Hannah, 5 years old going on 4, were in the middle row of seats fighting over a book that neither had been interested in until one of them had touched it, setting off a sudden property war. Dad was driving, trying to listen to his CD, a religious lecture on how to control your temper when fasting, and Noor's nose was back in his 1001 random facts book. Do you hear what the sheikh is saying, children? Dad said. We have to avoid anger when we're fast. Adam and Hannah, will you learn to share? Mom yelled angrily, turning around to glare at them as she reached over and grabbed the book. The spine ripped, provoking hysterical wails from them both. Easy for the sheikh to say and muttered. He's never been on a road trip with these brats. Mom shoved lollipops into Hannah and Adam's hands, which shut them up immediately. Then she calmly turned off the stereo. Dad didn't dare protest. I looked longingly at the lollipops and then glanced at my watch. 3 hours until we broke the last fast in the month of Ramadan. I threw my head back against the seat and sighed. Do you know a cockroach can live up to 1 week without its head? The more important question, I couldn't help but snap back, is how much longer you're going to live if you continue with the trivia. We were on a road trip. It was our annual Eid al-Fitr ritual, driving to visit my grandparents who lived on the south coast outside Sydney to spend the holiday with them. Once upon a time, I was the only child in the family, the firstborn daughter who had her parents' full attention and adoration. Road trips were simple. My parents smiling lovingly at me, giving in to my every demand. No toys or gadgets, crusts delicately cut off my sandwiches, no question of who chose the entertainment. It was just me. Life was great. And then, when I was 4, a brother Noor arrived. It took some time to adjust, but the ratio was at least equal, 1 child per parent. Then a few years later, another girl unexpectedly arrived. Hannah. And then another boy, Adam. My parents clearly had no mathematical comprehension. Didn't they realize they were outnumbered? Nobody felt it more acutely than me. I'd gone from 100% attention to 25% on a good day. And as if that wasn't bad enough, I barely had time to myself because I was the eldest. And with my parents outnumbered, they relied on me a lot. Can you make sure Hannah doesn't climb the fridge while I take a shower? Can you take them on the trampoline while I mow the lawn? Can you make sure Adam doesn't play soccer with the eggs while I send this email? I'm just looking at the time. Okay, we were due to arrive at my grandparents' place late at night. We'd taken off 4 hours before sunset. Noor, Mom, Dad, and I decided we could cope with the fast while traveling. It was only for a few hours. But we were fasting while feeding Adam and Hannah, using food as a distraction every time they decided to cry, randomly shriek, or scream sing the lyrics to a Wiggles song. This was going to be a long ride. I tried to ignore my rumbling tummy and focus my mind on tomorrow's Eid celebrations. Our Eid plans included waking up early with the family and heading to the local community hall for Eid prayers, followed by a big breakfast of falafel, hummus, fresh bread. Toilet! Adam wailed. Number 1 and number 3. Number 3? Dad cried out alarmed. What's that? I'm going to stop right there. And that is one of the stories in Once Upon an Eid, which I hope everyone has an opportunity to go out and order and
For sure,
bring
please.
to your.
Can you let us know how we can order it? Where can we get our hands on it?
So Once Upon an Eid is available anywhere you would buy books. Right now, because of the COVID situation, obviously people are ordering online. So it's available at Indigo, independent bookstores. I'm going to shout out an online way you can access books at independent bookstores, which is IndieBound, and as well as bookshop.org. Those are for independent bookstores. It's also available on Amazon, anywhere that you would purchase books. And also wanted to say that our publisher is actually Abrams, which is the publisher of Amulet, is the imprint of Abrams that publishes book, and they're the publishers of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which I know a lot of us have in our homes. So, and one of the reasons I say that is because when we set out to publish this, there were a lot of publishers interested in this, and they all wanted to do it. They all wanted to put it out there, but
we're fighting over it, mashallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. We specifically chose Abrams because we knew they were going to do a beautiful job with the book, with all the art, and they did do that. And I think that just in the Muslim community, like you were talking about, we don't get to see ourselves, and when there's a good project like this, then we need to support it to say we want more of this.
For sure.
And the other thing I wanted to mention is all royalties go to Islamic Relief. So that's another reason to get this book.
So to continue that spirit of giving. So for all of you watching, please try to get your hands on this. MashaAllah, we're very honored to have you here. Sajda is an internationally renowned award-winning author. She's been published in so many places. It's truly an honor to have heard from you and to be able to speak with you. Thank you so much, Sajda, and we hope you have an amazing Eid.
Thank you so much. Eid Mubarak.
Thank you so much. I wish we could stay here all day. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.